All right, we are back with another story. I know it's been a while. Just been busy, family stuff and all that good stuff. But anyhow, we are back and we have a new video, a new story. And this story is coming from my family member, also my grandfather. He told me this a long time ago, and this happened a long time ago. Also, we have a new mic. Hope you can tell the difference. It's got to be a better quality. I'm hoping it's a lot better than the last one we got. Maybe I get the story out to you a little bit clearer. But let's get into it. Now, like I said earlier, this story came from my grandfather, who, I want to be honest with you, did not believe in ghosts. He was 100% sure that there was no such thing as a ghost. But he believed in what you call Omen, I believe is how you say it. But it's a sign that something was going to happen, something bad. He believed in that 100%. And he says that this is what happened. You know, that this was an omen, this was a sign telling him that something bad was going to happen. So let's get into it. All right, this happened, I don't know the date, to be honest with you. He was in his 20s, I believe he said, around in his 20s sometime, around in there, and he was born in 1923, I believe. So we're talking a long time ago. And he was telling me about this story about one night him and his friends was out having a good time, partying. Not 100% sure on where this happened either. He never was specific about where that happened. I know he was from the Ward, Mammoth area. So I'm going to assume up in that area somewhere. But like I said, he was out with a bunch of friends and they were having a good time, just doing what normal 20-year-olds do, drinking and have a good time. When he was told by a family member that his aunt was really bad and was not looking good and it wasn't looking like she was going to make it. Well, he was really close to this aunt, and I mean, obviously it was bothering him, but you know, he stayed out and thought, well, I'll have a good time and I'm sure she'll be fine. She'll make it through tonight and I'll see her tomorrow. Well, they were having a bonfire and they were all just hanging out around this fire, just having a good time. And he heard rustling in the brush, as if, you know, something was in the woods around him, which was nothing major. It was animals everywhere, so it could have been anything, a coon or anything. But the sound just kept getting closer and closer. And it sounded almost like it was right in the woods beside of them at this point. And they were like, you know, a little bit worried because there is bear in this area. But I think he would have much rather seen a bear at this point, because what they saw was definitely not a bear. The noise just kept getting closer and closer. And it finally got so close that they could see the weeds parting. The weeds were just parting as if something was coming through the woods. But there was no footprints. There was no footsteps. It was very odd. And then it finally got close enough to where they could see it. In fact, it come out of the weeds and out into the open area where he was at. It was a casket. Yes, you heard me right. A casket. And no one was carrying this casket. It was floating. And it floated right out of the weeds, right out into the open, and stopped. Now this thing stayed there for a while, long enough for them to throw rocks and sticks at it, because they thought they were losing their mind, of course. But in the same way that it came through the weeds, it went back through the weeds. And it just disappeared into the woods. Of course, they had no idea what they had just saw. They thought, man, we have been drinking way too much. But then just 30 minutes after that, possibly 30, maybe a little longer, his brother come up the road flying to come find him so he could tell him that his aunt just passed away. So in his mind, that was his aunt telling him, letting him know that it was time for her to go. Maybe a goodbye even. Now, if I was to heard this from anyone else other than my grandpa, I'd probably say, there's no way that this is true. There's no way that that could happen. But coming from him, there's no way it can't be true. This man wouldn't lie to you for no reason whatsoever. He was straight up about everything. So I have no doubt in my mind that this man saw a floating casket that night. So maybe it's true. Maybe there are omens. Maybe there are signs. I don't know. I've never seen one. I've never had one show me anything. But I have no doubts in my mind that this man saw this. Now, this was a short story today, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to try to put out a couple more, and I'm going to try to keep them coming. So please keep subscribing, share, like, and please spread the word. Tell your friends, your family. Let them all know where to find these stories at, and have them subscribe. Because I know everyone likes a good ghost story. I mean, I know I do. So until next time, keep the lights on.